Hi, it is I, Coda, and a few days ago, Games Fest was up, and everybody was just watching with their favorite streamer and enjoying the showcase, I suppose. But I'm not sure if you noticed, but there's this ongoing theme throughout the Games Fest. Most of the games are sci-fi or space-heavy games. It's as if every gaming company collectively decided to just monopolize on this genre because it's small yet it sells well. And this what's bringing me here today, and I'm just gonna do a quick rundown of the sci-fi games mentioned, starting from big and then to small. I'm gonna call this half and half. Half and half is gonna be a two-parter. Every time I do this, I'm gonna upload one part, which is gonna be bigger in size, and then the second half is going to be smaller. Starting with a game that we're all way too familiar with, even your grandmother know about it, it's Starfield. And to say the least, I hope it really turns out well. This could prove pretty exciting. Starfield could be a fun game, or it could turn out to be boring. But we'll have to see once more comes out. But let's take a look, shall we? There are some similarities to No Man's Sky, but then again, you could point these out to a lot of other games as well, so no biggie. Combat and everything else, the creatures, the landscapes, it resembles too much like the other games Bethesda has made. Let's just say this is Fallout 4, but in space. Not a bad thing, but hopefully it turns out better than Fallout 76. Despite all this, the environment does look good. The creatures are... I'm not feeling it too much right now, but there's probably a bigger variety. I'd be kinda disappointed if the creatures were copy and paste. And, well, the combat feels the same, although the enemies are bullet sponges here, so okay. And the weapons don't feel that good for now, as far as what we can see. Ship customization is incredible. I can see people trying to make cosplays for their ships, referencing other series, and honestly that's a plus for me too. I would like to try that out. I like piloting, I like driving things. I like to think that I'm good at it. Who knows? Although it'd be kind of boring if this is all that combat can offer, you know? I wonder, well, it feels like Elite Dangerous or Star Citizen. Not sure if you're gonna be able to hijack ships. Whichever way it goes, I think it's fine. I think it's fine either way. I think that's just me though. Let's move on to the next aspect of the game. Civilization looks good. It kinda reminds me of the baseball dome back in Fallout 4. Another thing that I have big hopes for are the factions. I want to be able to play as the big baddies, and I think we can, judging from the footage we have so far. And that's a plus, it's always a plus. More narrative moves, role-playing elements. And speaking about role-playing elements, we have to talk about the background. Background looks great. There's a lot of variety. You could start with anything and just move from your role-playing style there. Plus you get some skills from the start. I think Bethesda do an okay job at skills, so I'm not worried about the skills. Now, another weird thing that I didn't kind of expect were the traits, you know, personality traits. And supposedly they give you plus and minuses, so you can be an introvert or an extrovert. I'm not sure what this helps with. Maybe more dialogue options, maybe? I don't know. It's probably just to spice things up for the role-playing style. Moving on. Now, I'm not really too into the city management aspect of these games, but to say the least, it looks like it's on a bigger scale than what I used to know. Just so you know, my only experience is Fallout 4, and that's not really a lot. But the scale looks big, and you can assign your companions to do different tasks from the looks of it. So that's really nice as well. Although I'm worried they were just gonna do a little bit of Preston Garvey there and make him, you know, tell you to go here, help the people here, do this, do that. Uh, it's okay for that to happen. It adds a little bit of realism, but just as long as it's not that annoying. A thing that could get really monotonous seems to be the mining and the scanning. That's gonna get boring real fast, real soon, and I bet this game's gonna be really heavy on resources given how they're shilling out the resource management and settlement building, along with the crafting, but that was also present in the other games, although I just hope it's not a huge components in it, since I never really went out of my way to craft things. For those that really like it, that's okay, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna have like extra missions related to this, and I don't think that's gonna do so well. One last thing I'm worried about is the amount of planets we have. Todd said we would have approximately
Over
1,000
1,000
planets. That's too many planets. And a lot of people have mentioned, and I'm convinced about it too, is that not all of these are gonna be handcrafted in. You know what? 1,000 planets seems crazy. I'm not sure I would handcraft 1,000 planets. So they're probably gonna be resource dumps like some people have mentioned. And I would be fine with that as long as it's like Mass Effect, where you only look over those resource dumps and throw in a probe to collect resources and not land at them and build an outpost. Because if you have to land and build an outpost in 1,000 planets, just doesn't seem fine to me, you know? So if it's like Mass Effect where you throw a probe and that's it, I'm fine with it. But there should be enough playable planets too, with their own quests and stuff, I guess. Let's move on to our next game. I've been excited about this game ever since its conception because I really like the concept of it. We're talking about Routine here, and Routine looks, plays, and feels like Alien Isolation, which is a good thing for me anyways. I like horror, and this game, much like Alien Isolation, might just be personalized. I don't know. We'll have to see. So the idea about Routine is the 80s vision of going to outer space. And you're in this derelict space station. And you're being hunted down by machines for some reason. It's not clear yet, and that's fine. It's always good mystery to just leave things out, especially in the trailer. You go around, you have this TV gun you can use to hack and get some information from other TVs and discern things about the area. There's also apparently a way to fight back. I'm not sure to what capacity. Maybe it's limited, maybe it's a last ditch thing. We don't know. There's also a variety of areas with their own different problems, it seems. The machines look uncanny, which is great. I love that. It makes for some good scares. The environment looks really well made. Let's check the next one. Now, this next entry is gonna look a little bit all too familiar, and we're gonna talk about Callisto Protocol. I'm very, very hopeful for this game. Not because it looks like Dead Space, but because of Striking Distance Studios. And why am I excited for this company? And it's because Glenn Schofield's at the helm, and if you don't know, like I didn't, Glenn was vice president and general manager at Visceral Games and co-founder of Sledgehammer Games that worked on the original Dead Space. So I'm very, very excited to see how it turns out. It's a whole new world, whole new setting, more scares. And you can see there are some borrowed elements from their previous games, much like the HUD at the back of the neck, the stomping, dismemberment, a stasis field like power, and let's not forget about the death cinematics. They're back. Zombies look great, and to give you a premise, Callisto Protocol, from what I can tell, is set in an automated prison because they have machine wardens that oversee the place. I'm not sure how involved the wardens are, but we've also got genophage, zombies. I'm really excited. Let's see how it turns out. But this is all I can tell you right now, given from the footage we currently have. Not sure if we're gonna have a workbench, a crafting system, get some different armors. We'll have to see. Alright, this next entry is gonna look just like Portal, and we're gonna talk about the Entropy Center. It's made by Stubby Games, and there's not really any information about them as of recording. I'm just guessing they're new. But from what I can understand, you're with this beautiful AI assistant known as Astra. She's really adorable. Can't wait to hear her quips. From what I can understand, you're supposed to solve puzzles which generate energy that can stop Earth and the station reaching Cataclysm. So, save the world, save yourself. Yeah, that's unfortunately all I can tell you. Let's move on to our last entry of Half and Half. Now let's talk about Fort Solis. Fort Solis, according to the interview, it's supposed to be a mix of Dead Space and The Moon. That movie over there, which I haven't watched really. It's a third-person thriller on Mars. You play as a medical officer who is stationed at Fort Solis, which is in Mars, and you'll be in constant contact with a maintenance engineer who works at a remote Martian mining post. There's going to be ways of transportation, which gives the idea that there's going to be many different areas that you'll probably need to go to Mars surface and explore and figure things out. For now, we'll have to wait for them to release more details at a later date. Any corrections you want to make, feel free, mention in the comments below. I'll check it out. That's it for now. I'll see you at the next half.